Before we start, you need to know this is the full drama, containing 2 seasons combined, and most of you probably watched the first season without ever knowing the ending. But here, you'll finally get the conclusion. And so I won't keep you waiting. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's aim for 10,000 likes on this video. It might seem hard, but I trust you can make it happen. Now, let's begin. The story starts with a beautiful girl named Sion. She is a high school student. Despite being brilliant in her studies and always ranking first in her class, she is unfortunately poor and from a very modest family. Because of this, she hates rich people and resents them deeply. Why? Because their lives are easy and they have no idea what it feels like to be poor like her. One day, while riding the bus, she sees a post about a prestigious school that only accepts high-class students. She learns that they live in their own special world because they can buy whatever they want the moment it crosses their minds. They don't even need to think about it. Once they want it, they simply get it. For example, one student books out an entire restaurant just to have dinner with her boyfriend, and if he doesn't show up, she simply eats alone. No problem at all. Another student walks into a store and buys the most expensive motorcycle, paying easily with a credit card. Yet another student buys a very expensive gift for a girl he likes, and when she refuses it, he casually throws it away in the trash. Sion learns that the tuition for that school is $100,000, and she feels frustrated because she wishes she could attend. After getting off the bus, she puts on a pair of glasses to change her look and impersonates her friend from university. She then goes to a rich girl's house to tutor her. When she enters, she is astonished by the huge, luxurious home and envies the girl's lifestyle. The girl's mother sees her and agrees to hire her because she thinks Sion is a hardworking nerd without realizing she's still just a high school student herself. The mother explains that she wants her daughter to enter the elite school, but she is failing academically. That's why she decided to hire Sion as a private tutor and asks her to focus on improving her daughter's performance. Sion agrees and promises to do her best. The maid then serves cookies, and Sion decides to taste one. But the rich girl's mother mocks her, telling her that this is a very expensive kind of cookie, not something just any girl could afford. Embarrassed, Sion puts it back and feels humiliated. After leaving, she runs to her part-time job at the supermarket, where her university friend is waiting for her to return her clothes and ID. Sion thanks her for helping her get the tutoring job and vents about how much she hates rich people because their lives are so easy. The next day at school, she tries to study but feels weak and suddenly gets a nosebleed. She decides to rest, but her classmate comes in and tells her the teacher is asking for her. When she goes to his office, he apologizes and says she can't go to the camp because another student took the scholarship in her place. Sion is very upset, as she had really wanted to go. She leaves feeling disappointed and frustrated. Even though she is poor, she realizes there are always people poorer than her. Back in class, her friends ask if she's ready for camp. Nervous about them discovering she is poor, she lies and says she chose not to go. When she returns home, she finds her father in pain because he refused to take a taxi, preferring to save the money to pay for her needs. This breaks her heart. She goes to her room, upset, and wishes she had been born into a wealthy family. The next day, she tutors the rich girl again, only to find her flaunting a brand new bag worth $5,000. Shocked, Sion scolds her for being shallow since she already has another similar bag and points out that $5,000 could cover her own living expenses for an entire year. The rich girl, offended, decides to make her feel worse. She offers the bag to Sion as a gift. At first, Sion is surprised, but then she thinks that if she accepts and sells it, she can pay for the camp. She becomes excited and accepts, only for the rich girl to laugh at her, saying, "See, you do want a bag like this, but you're just a poor girl." Enraged by the insult, Sion wants to pull her hair but controls herself. Later that evening, she vents to her friend, saying she works hard to pay for her own expenses, while the rich girl can buy whatever she wants simply because she was born into a wealthy family. Her friend tries to cheer her up, telling her not to be so jealous, and even compares her to Aaliyah Cameron, a woman known for envying others. Sion laughs, but she still insists she must change her life. The next day, she arrives early at the rich girl's house and sees the new bag lying there. She decides to try it on, takes selfies with it, and even uploads the pictures to Instagram. Later at school, she is surprised to find all her classmates waiting for her, asking if she's secretly rich. Confused, she runs to the bathroom, opens her Instagram, and is shocked to see her photo gaining hundreds of likes and more followers. Everyone now thinks she's wealthy. When she returns, she decides to play along and says confidently, "Yes, I am rich. Did you all think I was poor like you? Pathetic." From that moment, she becomes popular. Every day, she sneaks into the rich girl's house earlier, trying on her clothes and bags, taking pictures and posting them online. Her goal becomes clear. She wants to be a famous influencer, earn money from advertising, and truly become rich. At school, she shows her classmates the pictures, but they get suspicious and ask why she never brings those items to class if she's really rich. Nervous, Sion claims that she doesn't want to hurt the feelings of poor students by showing off. She also explains that she works to be independent. Everyone believes her and admires her more, and she transforms from a rejected outcast into the most popular girl in school. Encouraged by her new status, she keeps up her lies. She even goes into the rich girl's mother's room, finds expensive jewelry and takes pictures with it. Just as she's about to get caught by the maid, she hides the jewelry behind her back and quickly returns it. When she opens the closet, she discovers the elite school's uniform and tries it on, posting another picture online and writing that she'll soon transfer to the prestigious school. But suddenly, she hears the rich girl coming home earlier than expected. Panicking, she hides under the bed but accidentally leaves her phone on the mirror stand. The rich girl enters, finds the phone, and opens Instagram, only to discover all the pictures Sion had been posting with her belongings. Furious, she realizes Sion has been secretly using her things and decides to expose her. Terrified, Sion crawls out from under the bed, begging her not to tell her mother. The girl agrees, but only on one condition. Sion must do her homework, obey all her orders, and basically act as her servant. With no choice, Sion accepts. That night, after working her part-time supermarket shift, she stays up all night completing the girl's homework. The next day, the rich girl begins to exploit Sion even more. She drags her along to shops while she buys clothes, making Sion carry all the bags, run errands, take pictures of her, and even fetch her coffee. Sion is forced to endure all this humiliation because she doesn't want to be exposed. Later at school, Sion studies hard because she has an important exam. Suddenly, the rich girl calls her, saying she forgot some papers and needs them immediately. Shocked, Sion doesn't know what to do. If she goes, she might miss her exam. But she feels she has no choice and rushes to the house, grabs the papers, and delivers them. To her dismay, she finds the girl laughing with her friends, not needing the papers at all. They all mock her, and Sion realizes it was just a prank. Sadly, she misses her exam. Heartbroken, she runs into the bathroom and cries. A kind girl sees her, feels sorry, and offers her a tissue. Sion is touched by her kindness, but then notices a cruel note stuck to her back. Other students had written insults and were mocking her. The kind girl removes the note, tears it up, and leaves quietly. Sion is impressed by her courage and later learns that this girl helps her because she too is poor. We get a flashback. She had entered the elite school on a scholarship, but the rich students constantly bullied her for being poor and not at their level. Wanting revenge, she gathered evidence against them and reported them to the principal. But of course, since the bullies were from wealthy families, nothing happened to them. Instead, suspicion fell on another poor scholarship student who was unfairly expelled. The kind girl felt guilty for being the real one who reported them, but never had the courage to admit it. She went to apologize to him, but he told her he already knew she was the one who reported them. He encouraged her to continue fighting and exposing the rich bullies, then left. Back to the present, this girl decides to carry on his will and keep resisting the bullies. Meanwhile, Sion, still furious about missing her exam, decides to get revenge on the rich girl who tricked her. She fills a bucket with water, asks some students where the school admission interviews are happening, and storms in. At first, the students think she's crazy and laugh, but she threatens them and moves forward. She barges into the interview room where the rich girl is and throws the whole bucket of water on her, soaking her completely. Humiliated, the rich girl fails her interview. Furious, she slaps Sion and threatens to destroy her life. At that exact moment, the school principal walks by and witnesses the scene. The rich girl's mother rushes to apologize, but the principal refuses to listen and declares that her daughter won't be admitted to the school. The mother is enraged and vows to ruin Sion's life. True to her word, she goes to Sion's school and tells the principal everything, that Sion impersonated her university friend and even accuses her of stealing jewelry. Shocked, Sion is summoned by her principal, who threatens to expel her. Terrified, she shuts down her Instagram account so no one can see the photos she had been posting with stolen items. But when she returns to class, she discovers everyone already knows the truth. Her classmates mock her, bully her, and throw papers at her calling her a liar. They demand that she leave the school because she's fake. Suddenly, Sion receives a message from the rich girl saying her mother will press charges against both Sion and her friend. Horrified, Sion panics, afraid her friend will suffer because of her mistakes. She decides to fix everything. She goes to meet the principal of the elite school and apologizes, admitting all her wrongdoings and insisting the rich girl is innocent. She begs him to accept the rich girl into the school so that her mother will forgive her and drop the lawsuit. The principal only laughs, refusing her request. He tells her, "I can't accept you. The school's reputation is the most important thing." Sion keeps pleading, but he calls security to throw her out. Defeated, she hides in the bathroom, sits on the floor, and cries bitterly. Coincidentally, a student is smoking inside. Afraid she'll catch him, he tries to sneak out, but she notices and grabs his leg, pulling him down. Thinking he's some pervert spying on her, she yells at him. Embarrassed, he explains he was only smoking and nothing more. He tells her this bathroom is abandoned because a girl once died there, so no students dare enter. Sion believes him. He introduces himself as young and learns that she wants to speak to the principal. He decides to help her, sneaks her over the school wall, and takes her to his car to wait. Then he leaves. Tired, Sion waits in the car, but eventually dozes off. When she wakes up, it's already midnight, and the car hasn't moved. She goes to check it, but suddenly something falls from the rooftop in front of her. To her horror, it's the kind poor girl who helped her earlier in the bathroom. Looking up, Sion sees a figure on the roof. Someone had pushed the girl. Terrified, she rushes to her side, but it's too late. The girl is dying. She cries desperately for help until an ambulance arrives, and the girl is taken to the hospital. The police arrive and take Sion's statement. Shaking and crying, she tells them she saw someone standing on the roof. That means it wasn't an accident, but an attempted murder. The news reaches the principal. His secretary informs him that the poor student is in a coma and her condition is critical. Coldly, the principal doesn't care because she was just a scholarship student. He decides to spread the story that she attempted suicide, but the secretary warns him that Sion saw what happened. At first, the principal is shocked, but when he hears it was Sion, he relaxes. He tells his secretary to stay at the hospital while he'll figure out how to silence Sion. Later that night, Sion returns home and finds the rich girl waiting for her. Afraid, she thinks she's come to fight, but instead, the girl surprises her by thanking her. She says, "Because of you, the principal agreed to admit me to the school." She assures Sion that she won't press charges anymore and even gives her a gift before leaving. Sion is confused and doesn't understand what just happened. At home, her father questions her about where she's been, but she lies, saying she was studying with her friend. She goes to her room and charges her phone. When she turns it on, she finds dozens of messages from the principal. He then calls her directly, offering her a deal. He'll help her enter the elite school if she stays quiet about what she saw on the rooftop. Shocked, Sion doesn't know what to do, but then she decides to seize the opportunity and agrees, seeing it as her chance to finally fulfill her dream. Meanwhile, the boy who was unfairly expelled visits the poor girl in the hospital, sitting with her mother to comfort her. He remembers his own painful experiences, how the rich students bullied him daily, and when the principal saw it, he pretended not to notice because their parents donated large sums to the school. That's why poor students like him suffered in silence. Back to the present, the school holds a meeting, urging students to visit their hospitalized classmate, but instead, the rich kids mock her, saying she's not their friend because she's poor and beneath them, then walk away laughing. Sion later returns to her old school to collect her things. Her classmates mock her for being expelled, but suddenly she announces proudly that she has transferred to the elite school. Everyone is shocked. They watch her from the windows, envying her luck, while Sion walks away smiling, proud and triumphant. That night, she goes to the supermarket to resign from her part-time job. She thanks her friend for all her help and says, with happiness in her eyes, that she can finally change her life. But she hides the truth. She doesn't tell her friend about the secret deal she made with the principal. The next day, the principal's secretary delivers Sion the elite school's uniform. She tries it on and is thrilled to see how well it suits her. Proudly, she wears it to the mall to go shopping. She decides to buy shoes to match her uniform. Shocked at the high price, she hesitates, but then spends all the money she had saved and buys them anyway. As she walks, another girl bumps into her, spilling coffee on her shoes. Panicking, Sion rushes to the bathroom to clean them, relieved they're okay. But when she checks her bag, she finds a note. "I know about your deal with the principal." Startled, she realizes the girl who bumped into her must have left it. She tries to find her, but fails. When she returns to the bathroom, she is horrified to discover that her shoes have been stolen. Suddenly, another girl walks in wearing identical ones. Thinking she's the thief, Sion confronts her and demands she return them. But what she doesn't realize is that this girl is Jeannie, the richest student in the school, nicknamed the queen and leader of the bullies, feared by everyone. Jeannie notices Sion's uniform and assumes she must be a new student who doesn't know her place. Smirking, she mocks Sion, throws a tissue in her face, and warns, "If you ever come near me again, I'll make you regret it." Then she walks away. But Sion is no coward. She glares at her and says, "Do you think walking into a bathroom is as easy as walking out?" In a flash, she grabs Jeannie by the hair, slaps her across the face, and scratches her cheek. Forcing her to give back the shoes, Sion storms off. She tries to return the shoes to the store, but they refuse since she doesn't have the original box. Defeated, she keeps them in a plastic bag. Meanwhile, Jeannie returns home, fuming with rage at what happened, and vows revenge. The next day, Sion arrives at her new school full of excitement. Imagining a peaceful new beginning, she explores the massive campus, amazed at the swimming pool, football fields, and endless facilities, everything a student could ever dream of. She feels lucky, as if fate is finally smiling on her, but Ginny also arrives furious and humiliated, with her face still scratched. Her wealthy friends are shocked by her appearance, but she demands they find a new student named Sion so she can destroy her. At that moment, Sion goes to the administration office and receives her student ID. She's told to meet the student supervisor, who turns out to be Young, the boy she once saw sneaking out of the abandoned bathroom. He recognizes her as the girl who climbed over the school wall. Embarrassed, Sion begs him not to mention it, saying she wants a fresh start. Nervous about gossip, she tries to escape, but Young grabs her hand and offers to show her around. Just then, a handsome student named Jun appears. Mistaking Young for harassing her, he pulls her hand away and grabs it himself. The two boys glare at each other, demanding that Sion choose between them. Flustered, she says, "Come on, it's my first day." But eventually, she chooses June. He smiles, walks with her, and kindly gives her his number in case she ever needs help. Sion is touched and starts to feel drawn to his charm. When she returns to her locker, she finds her old shoes inside with a note. "Welcome to hell. Your life will be miserable." Horrified, she realizes Jeannie wasn't the thief after all and decides to find her and apologize. But before she can, a group of rich students trip her, dragging her across the floor while mocking her. Terrified, she takes off her shoes to run faster, but they chase her relentlessly until she hides in the principal's office. She begs him for protection, but he laughs in her face. He reminds her that he fulfilled their secret deal. He admitted her without tuition fees. He tells her bluntly, "Either adapt and protect yourself, or leave." Crushed, she walks out, only to find Ginny waiting with a cruel smile. Ginny warns, "That was just the warm-up. What's coming next will be worse." Suddenly, dozens of students surround Sion. Trapped, she realizes Jeannie has incited them all against her. Jeannie grabs her, demanding she kneel and kiss her shoes if she wants forgiveness. But Sion glares back and says, "My mother once told me something when I was little. Rotten fish will never become jam, and rotten people will never change." With that, she punches Jeannie, breaks free, and runs. The crowd is shocked by her courage. Clearly, she's not an ordinary girl. They chase her through the campus, determined to make her pay. Lost and cornered, Sion panics, until suddenly, a mysterious art student pulls her into a room just in time, saving her. The girl treats Sion's injured leg and gives her socks to wear. Relieved, Sion thanks her, realizing not everyone here is cruel. She asks why the students act this way, and the artist explains the school's hierarchy. The rich bully the poor, forcing them into obedience. Jeannie is the queen because she's the richest, and no one dares defy her. Even if Sion hadn't fought her, she would have been bullied anyway, because she entered on a scholarship. Shocked, Sion realizes how hard life here will be, but she decides to endure and fight. She thanks the artist and leaves, unaware of the strange, sly look the girl gives her, hinting she may not be trustworthy. Later, Sion hides and remembers June's kindness. She messages him for help, but the rich bullies catch her and corner her again. Desperate, she pulls out her phone, filming them and threatening to expose them online. But they just laugh and mock her, saying, "We're rich, we're untouchable." As they close in, Sion loses hope. But just then, June appears. He grabs her and shields her in his arms before she hits the ground. Everyone gasps, because June is the principal's son. No one can understand why he's protecting her. Jeannie, furious at the sight, storms home, only to clash with her stepmother. We learn that Jeannie despises her stepmother because she's poor, manipulated Jeannie's father for his money, and now controls his wealth. Because of this, Jeannie has grown to hate all poor people, seeing them as greedy opportunists. Meanwhile, Jun takes Sion to the rooftop, where he tends to her injured leg and gently applies a bandage. Sion's heart races, convinced he must like her, but June shocks her with the truth. He's in love with the poor girl who's now in a coma. He asks her if she saw who pushed the girl from the rooftop. Sion is startled, realizing that this is why he got close to her, so she decides to take advantage of the moment, pretending she knows who the criminal is. But she makes a deal with Jun. She will tell him only if he agrees to be with her and protect her from the bullies. Jun reluctantly agrees. The next day, he drives her to school in his car. Holding her hand in front of everyone, he makes her grand entrance as the weak girl, who now has powerful protection. All the students are stunned to see them together. They assume the two are dating, and jealousy spreads quickly, because Jun is the principal's son, someone with immunity. His friends go to confirm it, and June doesn't deny it. He even warns them, "If anyone so much as dares to glance at her, I'll gouge out their eyes." From then on, when Sion enters her classroom, she is shocked to see how differently the students treat her. They suddenly try to befriend her. For the first time, she feels respected. Soon, they even invite her to a party held by the rich girls. Sion panics. She doesn't have a dress to wear. She confides in her university friend, who encourages her to go and suggests she borrow one from the rich girls Sion used to tutor. Convinced, Sion visits her and offers her all the money she had saved. The rich girl laughs, brushing it off, saying, "Keep this change. This dress costs $10,000. She finally agrees to lend it, on one condition: return it spotless, or I'll ruin you. She hands over her most expensive gown, then even drives Sion to the party. Terrified, Sion hesitates at the entrance, wanting to turn back, but her friend encourages her, assuring her that she's beautiful and no less than any of those inside. Gaining confidence, Sion walks in with her head held high, awestruck to see high-class socialites everywhere. She tries to blend in, not knowing what awaits her. Suddenly, one of the rich girls shoves her, making her trip and spill juice all over herself. Panicked about the dress, Sion tries to clean it, but then Ginny appears, laughing. She dumps another drink all over her, sneering, "Know your place. Just because you're with a rich guy doesn't mean we'll ever accept you as one of us." Humiliated and furious, Sion is ready to fight back, but the guards intervene. They inform her that this is Ginny's party, and they throw her out. Realization hits her. Ginny set this up purely for revenge. Sion regrets ever coming and returns home devastated. That night, she receives a message from the rich girl who lent her the dress. She has already found out the gown was ruined. She gives Sion 1 month to pay the full $10,000, or she'll have her jailed. Terrified, Sion can't sleep. The next morning, over breakfast, she tells her father she needs money urgently. Like any loving father, he pulls out his wallet, saying, "How much do you need, my daughter?" Sion answers, "Not much, just $10,000. Her brother explodes, chasing after her. "Are you insane? Even if we sold our entire house, we wouldn't gather half that amount." Crushed, Sion locks herself in her room, clutching the dress in despair, not knowing what to do. Jun learns what happened and grows furious. He confronts Ginny, revealing they have been childhood friends. He warns her to leave Sion alone and stop bullying her, but Ginny only laughs, mocking him. "You think she loves you? She's just using you for money, just like my stepmother used my father." She urges him to wake up, but Jun refuses and walks away. Later, a video of Sion's humiliation at the party spreads across the school's group chat. Young sees it and feels sorry for her. He decides to check on her, but when he finds her, she's with an older man who looks shady. Thinking he's trying to exploit her, Young attacks him and beats him up. But Sion yells at him, "You've got it all wrong! I was selling him my laptop because I need money." Because of Young's interference, she has to give the man a $50 discount, which makes her even angrier. She storms off, and Young follows, thinking she's upset with him for misunderstanding. But Sion snaps, "I'm upset because I lost $50, and now I have to walk home to save taxi money." Young feels guilty and wants to help, but Sion refuses to take his money. So instead, he gives her a ride on his motorcycle. She smiles for the first time in days, touched by his kindness, and thanks him. Back home, she begins selling off everything she owns, desperately trying to gather the dress money. But even after selling most of her belongings, she can't raise half the amount. The next day at school, she walks around distracted and lost in thought. Suddenly, she notices the rich students staring at her and laughing. To her shock, she discovers a paper stuck on her back with the words, "Poor beggar." Ginny appears in front of her, smirking. Enraged, Sion demands, "Why are you doing all this? You're the queen of this school. What are you so insecure about? Don't tell me you're jealous of me. I swear you're jealous of me, and I'll prove it." Jeannie, infuriated, snarls that she won't stop until Sion is gone from the school. She offers her a deal: pay for the ruined dress and add extra money on top, then leave the school for good. She gives her 1 week. From then on, Jeannie taunts Sion daily, reminding her of the countdown. One evening, Sion hears a car behind her and assumes it's Jeannie. Cursing, she turns, only to see Jun. She gets in, but he scolds her for going to the party. He tells her his true love was poor too, but unlike her, she had dignity. He then pressures Sion to fulfill their deal and reveal who pushed the girl off the roof. Sion panics, since she truly doesn't know. She storms out of the car but then remembers something important. She runs back and tells him she saw the shadow of a girl that night, which means the culprit was female, not male. She accuses Jun of failing to protect her from the bullies and walks away. Jun is shaken by her words and feels guilty. The next day, Sion visits the art student who once saved her. She confides everything, explaining that she needs money desperately or she'll be forced to leave school. The artist suggests a solution. "There's a rich boy here who helps anyone in need. He's so kind, everyone respects him. Why not borrow from him?" Naively trusting her, Sion agrees. She approaches the boy and asks for money. He smiles and agrees, but with one condition: she must work as his model. He makes her dress in his clothes while he takes photos. Reluctantly, Sion complies with his demands, but soon it becomes clear what kind of boy he really is. And the truth hits. Sion was willing to compromise her dignity for some money. She leaves his place in tears, disgusted with herself, ashamed that she had sold her pride for just a little cash. At that time, Jun goes to visit his girlfriend in the hospital. He remembers the last conversation he had with her. He had asked her which of the rich students were bullying her so he could confront them and make them pay. But she refused to tell him. She didn't want to cause him trouble. This made him angry back then, and he accused her of being weak and cowardly. Snapping out of the memory, Jun feels a deep guilt for not protecting her. He holds her hand tightly and vows that he will take revenge for her. When he returns home, he sneaks into his father's office and searches for any evidence that could reveal who pushed her off the rooftop. That night, Sion has a nightmare. She recalls the day she saw the poor girl lying on the ground, bleeding. In her dream, she is holding a necklace stained with blood. Waking up in shock, she looks at the chain in her hand and realizes it must belong to the girl who pushed the victim. Determined, she decides to investigate. The next day, Ginny goes to school only to be confronted by her stepmother, who taunts her cruelly. Ginny learns that her stepmother is pregnant, and once she gives birth, her child will inherit everything. Ginny collapses in despair. Suddenly, Sion arrives. She drives the stepmother away and gives Ginny water to calm her down. Ginny is surprised by this act of kindness and asks if Sion feels sorry for her. But Sion scoffs and replies, "Whoever doesn't see through the sieve must be blind. No matter how hard your life is, it's not harder than mine. I've sacrificed everything just to stay in this school. I have nothing left to lose." She warns Ginny to stay away from her, or else she will regret it, then walks away. Sion decides to refocus on her studies, determined to reclaim her top rank. And indeed, the rich bullies begin to leave her alone. She's relieved, thinking she'll finally have peace. But suddenly, while in class, Jun appears and demands to talk to her. She refuses, telling him to leave her alone. Instead, he grabs her hand in front of all the students, pretending they are still a couple. Embarrassed, she is forced to follow him. In private, he asks for her help in identifying the criminal, but she refuses, not wanting more trouble. Jun then threatens her. If she lies to his father, the principal will expel her from school once he learns she never really saw the culprit's face. Frightened, Sion doesn't know what to do. As if fate weren't cruel enough, she suddenly receives a message from an unknown number. Attached is a video of her meeting with that kind, rich student. The sender threatens to expose her. Shocked, she realizes someone had been secretly filming her. Distracted and stressed, she enters class. The art student notices her silence and slips her a note asking if she's okay. Touched, Sion thanks her for being the only one offering comfort. But later, at home, she realizes the handwriting is identical to the mysterious note she had found in the mall. That means the artist knows she's a witness and deliberately got close to her to make her confess. And indeed, this turns out to be true. The artist is seen watching the incriminating video because she was the one who filmed it. We are taken into her past. A year ago, she was from a wealthy family. But when her father was arrested and jailed, everything changed. The rich students mocked and shunned her, and she couldn't bear their looks. Furious, she lashed out, grabbing one student and threatening to break her face if she ever mentioned her again. Just then, Ginny appeared. The artist thought Ginny would defend her since they had been friends. But to her shock, Ginny slapped her across the face and ordered everyone to stay away from her because she was now poor and beneath their class. From that moment on, the artist began to hate her and vowed revenge. Back to the present, Sion sneaks into the artist's room, searching for the flash drive that contains her video, but she can't find it. Suddenly, the artist walks in. Sion confronts her, demanding to know why she did it. The artist laughs cruelly. "Don't act all righteous. You sold your conscience too, just to enter this school. Have you forgotten?" Sion insists she doesn't know who pushed the girl. She only saw the shadow of a female figure, but the artist pressures her. "Say it was Jeannie. Accuse her and I'll delete the video." Shocked, Sion realizes the artist is obsessed, only wanting to destroy Ginny. She refuses, but the artist argues, Jeannie bullies poor students every day. If she goes to jail, the school will be better. She threatens Sion, either accuse Jeannie or she'll publish the video and ruin her. Terrified and cornered, Sion doesn't know what to do. She wanders the streets, crying and regretting ever entering this cursed school. She longs for her simple, poor life again. Unexpectedly, she encounters Jeannie, and surprisingly, Jeannie tells her she admires her courage, that Sion is brave and unafraid of anyone. She encourages her, "Stay strong, fight for your rights. If anyone bullies you, break their bones." Yes, dear viewer, the very girl who once tormented her is now giving her strength. Inspired, Sion regains confidence. She calls Jun and asks for his help. The next day, they go to the pervert student's room to investigate. There, they find dozens of flash drives, revealing he had been blackmailing many girls, but all the files are password-locked. Sion calls Young, who beats up the creep until he gives up the passwords. Relieved, Sion finally feels safe. But back at home, curiosity overwhelms her. She opens the flash drives. To her shock, she finds one labeled with the name of Jun's girlfriend, the girl in the coma. When she plays it, she's stunned. The kind, innocent girlfriend had been cheating on Jun with his closest friend, who was already in a relationship with another girl. Sion is devastated for Jun, realizing he was deceived all along. The next day, Jun waits for her at school. Nervous, she doesn't tell him what she discovered, not wanting to break his heart. He invites her to his best friend's engagement party. Yes, dear viewer, the very same friend who betrayed him. Sion has no choice but to go. That night, she attends with Jun, nervous since the party is full of rich students. But surprisingly, they treat her well because she is with Jun. She laughs, plays, and even enjoys herself, yet guilt eats at her. Later, she tries to tell Jun privately that his girlfriend had betrayed him, but before she can, Jun opens up about his memories with her, how he loves her because she is kind and gentle. Sion can't bear to break his heart, so she stays silent. Back at the party, Jun suddenly confronts Jeannie, accusing her of pushing his girlfriend. Jeannie grows furious and snaps, "You're such a fool! Do you even know the truth? She cheated on you, with your best friend!" Jun is stunned. Enraged, he attacks his friend, and the two begin a violent fight. The engagement party collapses into chaos. His friend's fiancé breaks down in tears, devastated. Ginny unexpectedly approaches her, apologizing and trying to comfort her, but the girl shocks her by admitting she already knew her fiancé was cheating. She stayed with him just to control him like a puppet. At the end of the night, Sion takes Ginny home with her. There, she shows her the necklace she had found in the hand of the girl who fell. Ginny is shocked. It belongs to her best friend, the same girl who had betrayed Jun. The truth is revealed. That night, Ginny's best friend had gone to the rooftop to confront the poor girl. She accused her of stealing her boyfriend, slapped her, and in a rage, pushed her to her death, dropping her necklace in the struggle. Back in the present, Sion resolves to tell everyone the truth. But just then, the artist calls her, reminding her that she still has the incriminating video. She demands that Sion accuse Ginny, or she'll release it. Panicked, Sion rushes to the school to stop her, but when she arrives, she sees the artist climbing onto the rooftop, recreating the same moment as before. History repeats itself. Just like the poor girl, the artist falls to her death. Terrified, Sion realizes the curse of this school is real. She approaches the body, trembling, trying to erase the video from her clothes, but the phone isn't there. She collapses to the ground in tears. Moments later, the police arrive. They take the body away and clean the scene. The